every single year, the amount of obese children is growing up by a horrific rate. In fact, just look at these two graphs. You can see that, for example, for 5 to 11-year-olds, it grew from 5% in 1963 in 2015, almost 20%, and it's shooting up even more. And just look at this chart. It says over 250 million kids will be obese by 2030. These graphs show like the amount of obese kids are literally going off the charts. So more and more children are growing obese by the minute, yet how do we stop this? So today I'm going to give you a little information about why this has become such an epidemic or such a problem, and how can you stop it? First of all, I'm going to just say a quick little backstory on why childhood obesity is so terrible and why it is growing by such an astonishing rate. All know that obesity is horrible, but do you really know the extent of it? In fact, as MayoClinic.com quotes, it's particularly troubling because the extra pounds often starts on children who have passed with health problems in the future as adults. And once children are obese, it leads to low self-esteem and depression. So some children can suffer like problems that most times are mostly adult problems, such as diabetes, and everyone will be really sad, like, and they just won't have a lot of like self-confidence. And it just really affects how they see themselves, which is very important because especially now with all social media things like making people feel even worse. Like, for example, lots of social media sites have people saying, oh, I only eat one piece of bread, or like, I only eat a smoothie for lunch. And that makes people feel really bad because, every lunch I eat a lot more things than them. Like, I eat a giant bowl of rice and some chicken and some meat, when really, if they follow what they're doing, it'll probably just give them eating disorders. And next, why is childhood obesity growing at such astonishing rates? The first major culprit of this, and one of the biggest culprits of this, is advertising stations. They put very, very attractive ads, like with little cartoon characters, bright colors, and everything really good, really powerful to little kids on like little cartoon shows, to toddlers who probably don't know what they're watching, like this ad. This looks pretty bright compared to other ads for, I don't know, a newspaper. So kids, and most likely toddlers sometimes, so the next time they go to the grocery store, when they're just shopping around, and then suddenly they see Kellogg's Honey Nut Loops, and they're like, I want to get that, I saw that on TV. When they really don't know, it probably has a lot of sugar and a lot of calories. And so, but like Michelle Obama says, no one ever actually advertised the sweet taste of like a nice carrot, or some vegetables, or like a watermelon, which I really, really love to eat. And sometimes I actually eat too much of, like one time when I ate a whole tub of watermelon. That was a bad idea. So the second major culprit is this thing, school lunches. And it's really that bad because, as you can see by this arrow, entrees like this mac and cheese can be like over 600 calories for like one tiny little bowl of mac and cheese. And some people, in fact, I've seen a lot of people get 2 or 3 bowls of that. So that could be 12,000 or 1,200 to 1,800 calories. And that's a lot of calories, considering children are only supposed to eat 1,600 to 2,200 calories a whole day. And that's just an entree, not considering chocolate milk or their desserts, such as cosmic brownies, or their sides, such as French fries. But there's one good thing-ish about school lunches, right? They're cheap. Well, that's actually kind of the problem because if they're cheap, they can't afford healthy food, which is getting more expensive by the day. In fact, the last time I went to the grocery store, the price for some fruit went for from about $2 to $2.50, and prices just keep growing. And if the schools wanted to add some good foods, like let's say a salad, and our school does that occasionally, but it's very rare, only happens once every month, I would say. Um, it's just really hard to add it in because that's a side. And the side probably costs as much as probably more than half a meal. And that leads to the second problem. Healthy food is getting really, 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 really expensive. And so let's say, which looks better? This one, a little plate of healthy food, or this, a bowl of unhealthy food? This unhealthy food probably looks better to you, and it does to most people. And it's a lot cheaper than like getting healthy food and then cooking it, chopping it, frying it, boiling it. And so most people who are financially challenged and arguably the people who need it the most just turn for fast food, such as McDonald's or Taco Bell or KFC. And this is really bad because it's just making their diet a lot very unhealthy and just not nourishing. Plus, even if you're not like financially challenged, most college students, you've probably heard of this, eat ramen almost every single day, or they eat Hot Pockets. Because like college students don't have a lot of money on them, so they normally just eat that. So obesity from like children for anyone, like people who are struggling, is going up because fast food is easier and cheaper. So that's my speech on obesity. I hope you learned a little bit more and can think a bit more about it. Thank you.